Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to part two of my upload on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you haven't seen part one, I would urge you to go to that one first because in it, I just kind of break down a brief history of diversity, equity, inclusion, and how it can sometimes be braided up in other diversity acts which it's not, it should stand on its own. And so I do discuss that and give you a little bit of a brief history, especially if that's not your field or that's not typically your interest. But I would listen to that and take a look at that. I will, for your convenience, drop it in the description box so that all you have to do is click with your girl. Today in this video, I am wanting to address the what I don't find that they don't agree. I find that they're not in alignment, and that is entrepreneur, Black-owned businesswoman Tabitha Brown and the Reverend Al Sharpton, who, as we know, carries a sharp tongue. I'm giving this view as an opinion, as both a consumer understanding Tabitha Brown and as an HR director, practitioner, leader of an HR department and a company in my history, understanding Reverend Al Sharpton. And with both of them as an African American Black woman consumer, I'll summarize. Okay. That's how we do that. That's how we do that. I understand and respect and can relate to and can honor Tabitha Brown's video that she did. I'll upload that too. I'll drop that into the description box for your convenience. I love you enough to do it. I understand her hard work and her labor and her gentleness, even in delivery, by saying, hey, I get it. If you want to boycott these businesses, these stores who are talking about removing DEI, I get it, she says. But let me just say this, she says. And she goes on to talk about her history of working so hard to even get in these stores. Her products are in major stores like Amazon and Target, Ulta Beauty, Ipsy. They're in some well-known stores in some well-known markets. And she talks about her labor to do that. What she offers is plenty of hair care products through her product line called Donna's Recipe. She also has food items, including cast iron skillets, lunch toast to bring your totes in, air fryers, and all of that. She even offers a salt-free seasoning, I believe. And many of those, I would say Target is one of her biggest partnerships, as she calls it. And it is a partnership. She talks in this video about not having the fulfillment center to house her products and that these stores are housing it basically from shipment to delivery to those stores for our consumer purchase. So I get all of that and I respect that. I respect the grind. I respect the hustle. I respect the business understanding. I respect the race repertoire. I respect that. I respect that. But I also think of Madam C.J. Walker, who at the time of her bringing out her hair products, which she was known for, she became the first Black millionaire woman as also an entrepreneur. She didn't have partnerships. Now, I know these are many years fast forward that we are today from Madam C.J. Walker. But the point that I'm bringing up for Madam C.J. Walker is the whole idea that if there's a will, there's a way. That thank goodness she's in a broader market. But her ambition and coupled with a good product is what landed her there. So kudos to her for that. Kudos to her and any other Black-owned company or product line that's in these major stores. I commend that. I commend that. We have famous, well-known people such as Rihanna, who has a Fenty beauty line called Fenty. And Serena Williams, who kicked off her Win, W-Y-N, Win beauty line in this past summer. They're also in major lines, but they were more of a famous, well-named than Miss Tabitha Brown. They were famous because they were entertainers and athletes, so they had a name. So I even get that part, how to launch off of fame. I get that part. And again, I respect you for it. I respect it. I respect the fact that she may be shaking and shimmering as to how, as a culture, she can serve the collective, but how, as an entrepreneur, she can secure her product line. I wouldn't want to be in her shoes right now. Wouldn't want to be in her shoes right now. I get it. I get it. So her post was done, in my view, almost sleepy slumber, oh my gosh, kind of thing. And again, I'll drop it in the description box. On the other hand, is the fiery Reverend Al Sharpton, who is very boisterous as it pertains to action that will propel Black lives, Black consciousness, Black equity. And he is on a campaign that we all boycott these very stores who have decided to remove the DEI requirement from their stores. And I understand that. I understand Tabitha as a consumer. I understand Reverend Al Sharp as a practitioner who saw the development of DEI and the importance of it. Reverend Al Sharpton is saying that we have to not just decide not to shop at these stores, but to strategize how that will occur. So let me say this. I know, and I didn't pull the numbers for this, but I do recall them. I know that one-day sale at Target stores for Blacks individually represent about 10 to 12% of the total sales. So now you have to compute all the number of stores, all the same store sales, what that 10% would be at that particular store, because one store may be a bigger volume than another. So the 10% is a flat. And how much that would be transitioned into dollars, okay, is what Reverend Al Sharpton is talking about. Each day is a ping and another ping and another ping for each and every one of these stores. Now, it definitely would have an impact. So let me say it this way. In your home or in your household, if you lost income for a prolonged period of time, you will feel the effect of that. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to eat. It doesn't mean you're not going to pay your bill, but you will feel the strain of that. And you will work diligently to control that and stop that quick. So it is a forced recognition that Al Sharpton is endeavoring. Now, having said that, there also is what I call the umbrella of understanding, like the overhead of understanding. And the overhead of understanding is what most people don't even talk about, and I hadn't brought it up either. I might do a separate video. No, I might do a separate. But the overhead of understanding is how humanitarianly, if there is a word, or humanly, does the concern and care of the advocacy by which Reverend Al Sharpton is talking about, how does that matter to these stores? Beyond the bottom line of sales. That's the true part. Because the umbrella part is your covering. That's your cover. We can go out in the rain right now with our umbrella, and we can even play in it and not worry, as long as we have that umbrella. Without the umbrella, we won't stay out there too long. The discomfort of it won't make it enjoyable. So the true to me, now I'm speaking from the place, I'm moving from the place of my heart to the head, the place of my head to the place of my heart. The true litmus of it all is those stores' umbrella. Does it really matter to them? If they don't have to do it, would they do it? That tells you who they are. In their skin, in their basement, in their mentality, in their progress, and all the lack thereof. And all the lack thereof. Because if having a diverse workforce is important to you, you wouldn't even have to remove DEI. You wouldn't have to undo all of that. If having equity across your workforce, you wouldn't have to undo DEI. You wouldn't have to reverse. And the most important, if inclusion was important to you, you wouldn't have to remove DEI. It would be your cornerstone. So the consideration of it speaks volumes. Now I'm speaking as a practitioner now, not a consumer. I'm speaking as a humanistic person, as a humanitarian, not as a consumer. If it mattered to you, you wouldn't have to remove it. I'll give the example of the man who didn't like to wear his wedding band. And his wife didn't know he had been removing it. Until one day she saw it wasn't on. And he said, honey, I know I've always been taking it off. I never liked to wear it. From that she got that she was not loved. She did not hear that he never liked to wear jewelry, that he never liked to wear it. It was about the wedding band and how she felt. He quickly put it back on and never took it off. This is how I see DEI. The wedding band wasn't really necessary. I loved you anyway. But since it's so important to you, I'll put it on and never take it off. You see. So we'll see what Amazon and Target and Ulta, is Ulta Beauty, or are they really got ugly ways? Will they remove it? We'll see what they do with that wedding band. They're going to take it off, put it back again, because we loved you anyway. So we'll all stay tuned to it and find out what happens. And we'll see the best and the worst of people, meaning corporations, by the decision they make. But at any rate, and at the end of the day, I understand both sides for Tabitha Brown and Reverend Al Sharpton. And I wouldn't want to be either right now. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe. I hope you like this video, and I hope that you got something out of it. I'll see you next time. Bye. Have a good one.